You say hi to everybody? You say hi? Mwah. All right, we're going to talk energy and fat loss, or fat loss. Which one's more important? So this is Charlotte. I was instructed to come up here and hold her while my wife was cooking dinner, so we traded off. So y'all say hi to Charlotte. I just called her the wrong name. I just called my baby the wrong way. This is Isabella. Sorry, I called her Charlotte. Charlotte is our third. This is our Isabella, our fourth. So hi, Isabella. Isabella is just over 3 months old. And fun fact, as we get ready for this topic, do you know that babies are fed ketones while during development in the womb of the mama? So moms produce ketones so they can help the baby develop. The research, they have actually known this for a long time, like almost 50 years. That's why there's medium chain fatty acids in baby formula for preemie babies, is for development. Pretty neat. Also, breastfed babies get medium chain fatty acids to help ketone production and development for infant child. It's one of the reasons why they encourage breastfeeding. I know that's not always a possibility. I know I wasn't breastfed. That probably explains a lot about me. Now you know everything about me. Love you, mom. She should have breastfed me. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So let's get to it. Awesome. Check your messages. Sending you some info now. That's awesome. I said that to you, Anna. Okay, so here we're going to talk about fat loss or energy. I would say 95, maybe more percent of people come and join us for either fat loss or energy. I would say even out of the 95, 10 will say energy, but they really want fat loss, but the energy be nice, right? Most people stay for another reason, but they come for fat loss and energy. So if you don't mind, share with me, what do you feel is more important to you? Having better energy or more fat burning? You want to lose more weight. And it's okay to say fat loss. Because sometimes it just matters, right, to you. But I'm gonna show you why this is so significant. Because what happens is, if you don't have and energy is important in a sense that when we think about energy, too many people think of caffeine energy as that's a stimulant. That's not the energy I'm talking about. I'm talking about real energy. Real energy is important. Janelle, thank you so much for sharing that. I appreciate it. And the neat thing about energy is really about metabolizing food and utilizing food properly within the cell. And unfortunately, that system gets interrupted and broken, and it seems to be more relevant as we get older, but more importantly as we become more unhealthy. So energy is really a big factor here, but fat metabolism is really important too, right, for anti-aging, longevity, and of course burning fat. So this is where ketones are really, really superior in so many ways. So did you know that when you give a child sugar, what happens? When you give a kid sugar, what happens? They run around like bonkers, right? Our kids, you don't have to even feed them sugar. You just feed them food, and they're like, they're crazy. You give my mom or somebody older a bunch of sugar, they basically are hibernating on the couch and they're falling asleep. Why? Because they're not utilizing the energy the same way. They're spiking different hormones, and their body's shutting down. It's getting quiet, which means that you're more likely to store body fat. So the ability to convert into energy is extremely important. Basically, the persons that kind of eat whatever they want and always seem to have energy, they're really good at utilizing energy. You want to be more like them, and those people typically don't carry body fat as much. Hint, hint, hint. That's why I like energy faster or energy more. But this is the fun facts here. When you use ketones, and why drinking ketones, why this is such a game changer. And it's funny because most people don't know what it is, right? And I understand that. I've been doing this for 8 years. I've been studying it for 20 years. When you don't know, you don't know. But what happens after the age of 30, I use 30 as a benchmark. It's statistically, it's pretty concrete that somewhere between the ages of 28 and 38, this transition happens in our body. Hormones start to decline, like the testosterone starts to go down, human growth hormone starts to go down. We know cognition for the average person starts to decline in that age group. And so that person, when they say, well, just wait till you turn 30 or wait till you turn 40, you ever heard anybody say that to you? What they're meaning is your system isn't working like it did when it's 20. But this is where you should get wiser, right? But unfortunately, we don't usually live that way. And so what happens is that your food that you're eating isn't being utilized the same way, and it's starting to store for hibernation for the long winters, right? So what people don't realize why this is such a big breakthrough. This is truly the biggest breakthrough that we probably will see in our lifetime. I mean, it's a big deal. It's a huge deal. This is the change that we need. It has to do with energy, which ultimately will lead to more fat metabolism. And so what happens is that when people are eating right now and they're really good at storing fat, but not good at using fat. And we want to get better at using fat, but to do that, we have to be more efficient at having energy, right? And it's not just about running around with your kiddos. It's not just about you need energy to sleep. You need energy for your body to reproduce. You need energy for your cells to turn over. And if your system slows down, everything slows down with it, right? And so ketones are vital because they're a superior energy source. You can utilize and drink ketones, and they absorb in the cell with very little effort. Very little effort, meaning that all you have to do is have a mouth and open it, and you can get ketones in your brain, in your muscles, in your heart, in your body. For you to eat food, you have to eat the food, chew it a certain amount of times. You then have to go through the digestive process. If you have any type of stomach acid issues or any type of bowel challenges, any of those things, you're less likely to even get the food to where it needs to go. And then you have to create another hormonal response to actually get the nutrients to go into the cell. And there's a few other factors that go along in that. And that's what makes this so superior. So if we can give you you can say hi to everybody. If we can give you a primitive fuel source, primitive meaning that this is what our ancestors survived off of majority of the time. And we can now teach you, I always say, if we can give you the end result of feeling better, I can teach you the beginning. And when you have sustained energy, mental clarity, and focus, I can now get you more likely to go walk. My mom is more active the last 7-8 years of drinking ketones than she was the previous 15 years combined. In her 70s, she's more active in her 70s than she was in her 50s. And that's pretty huge. We're going to get a meltdown. So this is going to be a shorter live, aren't we? Can you say hi to everybody? Say hi. Say, what's cooking? What's cooking? What's cooking? And so this to me is the reason why people need ketones. You know, people come to us because they see a before and after picture and they want to lose weight. And I'm going to be later this week doing a coaching call about how do you do that. But when you have superior energy, now you got to start making the lifestyle changes that are going to support fat metabolism. Now, ketones will help with fat metabolism. They actually impact something in your brain called the GLUT4 transporter. I'm getting a little nerdy, and I hope some of you can appreciate that. But if this is not active in your body, you're going to go on diets the rest of your life and go up and down, and never get results. Even on a ketogenic diet, it's hard to turn that switch active without sustained high-level ketones. That's why this is so huge. So people that are on the yo-yo diet thing, the problem is, and the research has shown, is that you have to stay on the product long enough to activate the switch. If you stop too soon, you're not going to get results. And we found that it's 60 days is that magic window. You need 60 full days of high therapeutic ketones, at least 1 pack a day, maybe 2, depends on who you are. And then you have to be patient because you still have to make the lifestyle changes. And that's what's hard for me is I watch people jump ships to different things. And I'm like, they don't understand that they're all coming back. Everybody comes back, right? Everybody comes back. And so most important thing, fat loss or energy, if you focus on your energy, your fat loss will ultimately solve its own problem. Keep in mind, though, if fat loss is your goal, you still have to change some of your lifestyle, meaning that you need Linda. Linda's doing awesome there on LinkedIn. Hey, Linda, do you know Lynn Knowles by chance? I asked you earlier, but I didn't hear you see if you responded back. She's out there in Clearwater. Mary Newport used to live in Clearwater. I know a few people out in that area. But here's the deal. You want energy. You want sustained energy. And just so you all know, you need energy while you sleep. A lot of people wake up because of lack of energy while they sleep. Yes, they wake up because they want to eat. They're hungry. Their body's basically trying to in this transition phase. That's a long one. I'll do a sleep one here soon. And so focus on using ketones for energy. And this is how I recommend you assessing it. So instead of using the scale, which just pisses me off when people use the scale all the time because it is, you do know that. Oh, that's awesome. So what makes me mad about people that use the scale is that the scale isn't telling them the whole story. It's telling them a part of the story. Now, it is important that if you're on a fat loss journey, you lose body fat. I'm really all for that. It's just a bad way of measuring it, or at least if that's the only way you measure it. So if you want to measure energy, this is what you do. When you get started in your journey, or if you're right now plateaued and you want to get started again and get going, what I want you to do is I want you to do 1 mile walk, jog, run, fast, however fast you can. 1 mile. I want you to time it. How long does it take you to go 1 mile? If you can, I want you to do a plank as long as you can and time it. How long can you hold a body plank? If you can do push-ups, how many push-ups can you do without getting tired? Or how many can you do in 1 minute? How many burpees you can do? Pick one at least of those, if not 3 or 4 of them. Do them, drink ketones once or twice a day. Start following a plan of better, right? Move a little bit more, try to eat cleaner, healthier choices. Try not to eat before you go to bed. If you're an Elkie and drink all the time, drink a little bit less. things that you already know you should do, just try to do a little bit better and then measure your results every month. And you're going to change your life forever. The people that commit to that journey ultimately live the better life. Intermittent fasting, which we encourage at least 3 to 5 times a week. You can always use our fasting kits if you need support in that. And so those are the simple ways of doing this, and you will get better energy. When you have better energy, you're creating the life that you're going to need to create to maintain the results. Why people don't maintain their weight loss results is they either chose a lifestyle that was unsustainable, hence the Biggest Loser, right? They're exercising ridiculously, or they're eating crazy low calorie all the time. You can't do that long time, right? That's not a long-term approach. So we want to do, that's why we teach calorie confusion. We teach you approach. That's why you got to stay connected to what we're doing, is we're going to teach you how to live your life. But to maintain the results, you have to create a lifestyle that you can sustain. What does that look like? Can you, when I was single or when I just got married, I could work out 5, 6 times a week. I can't do that anymore with 4 kids. I probably could, it's just I couldn't do other things, right? You have to choose. I can work out 2 to 3 times a week. So I had to find a way to create a lifestyle that sustains the way I want to be at 2 or 3 times a week. Now, I know what I'm doing. I've been doing this a while. So that's what you have to do too. So I want you to think about this as I wrap up here. It's all about energy. How do you measure your energy levels? And here's the truth. You cannot go, I have more energy today than yesterday. You cannot do that. You lie to yourself. This has already been scientifically proven. You will lie to you all the time. You have to use an objective way to measure it. Otherwise, I don't trust you ever. Science is showing this. You can't trust you. You are willing to, if you have a good day, you have good energy. If you have a bad day, your energy is not as good. You're going to find a glass to be half empty or half full. So you have to find an objective way to measurement. And it's always better to do it in groups, meaning have a friend to do it with that you're kind of accountable to, because you guys will hold each other more accountable to your objections. So these are just some tips I give you. But the last thing I want to leave you with is this, is take a moment and what do you want you to be in a year from now? Now, the only thing is, let's say that you're on a weight loss journey and you're like, I want to be 185 pounds or 155 pounds next year. Okay, I want you to write that down. Also, but I want you to finish that. How do you want your life to actually be? That's a number on the scale. How do you want your life to be? I want to look a certain way in my genes. I want to wake up at 6 a.m. and have vigorous energy and go for a morning walk. I want to go on dates because I want to start dating again. Whatever your next year looks like, I want you to write down. And then at the bottom, I want you to write down this. When I achieve this goal, I am going to be happy that I achieved my goal. I find more people that start achieving their goals, they get to where they want to be, and they're still just as miserable as they were when they started. So we can't have that. That's not going to work. You will ultimately fail in this journey if you do that. I see it too much. So superior energy right here. If you don't have ketones yet, get ketones, get your hands on these. I know I have followers all over the world. A lot of people, what's up, Faye? How are you? A lot of keto mama mat, chemo mama mat. I think that's how I say that. Listen, if somebody got you to invite to follow me, go back to them and say, listen, I need to get my hands on this. I encourage you to come do one of our bundles with us, start intermittent fasting, get ketones elevating your system. But I love trials. I sell trial packs where people can buy 5 or 10 packs from me, and those are great. The reality is it's really 60 days if you're going to see if this is work. So the difference between a trial is you're going to try it. I'm in the big mood. I'm in the fact that you should do it, especially with the way that the world is today. We have to take a higher standard to our own health, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to hold you to a higher standard for yourself, because that's what we all want to be, is held to a standard that we can live by and be proud of. So if you haven't gotten ketones yet, get back to whoever invited you to follow me. Let's get your hands on them ASAP, commit to them, and be patient on the process. Of course, if you're following me and you don't know where to go, hit me up. I'll take care of you and get you all set up. We have some pretty cool sales happening right now, so you don't want to miss it. Kitty King Jacobs. I mean, how cool of a name is that? Kitty King Jacobs. Y'all give Charlotte. I keep calling you Charlotte. Give Isabella a big shout out. This is maybe her 3rd or 4th live. You'll do a lot of lives in your lifetime if you're around Papa, won't you? I'm excited. Hey, y'all. Peace out. Fast away. Drink ketones daily, y'all. Cheers.